to express my pain, because I'm the only one that understands like what I'm going through. Do you guys feel me? Anyways, before you tell a person like they gave up too quickly, make sure you have an understanding of like, or you know how long that person has been fighting, how long they have been trying to like carry on like everything is okay, meanwhile it's not okay. You know, everybody deals with pain differently. Some people are emotional and some people are not emotional, and just because a person is not emotional, okay, does not mean like they don't care. But you cannot tell a person how they should grieve. You can't tell me how I should grieve. I cannot tell you how you should grieve. Like I said, everybody carries pain differently. You know, there are people that are really like emotional, that can like just bust out and just like express like, oh, how much pain, how much hurt they carry inside. And there are other people who can put up like they're okay, you know what I mean, but internally you don't know what they're dealing with. Okay, when they shut off this camera, you don't know what is going on behind closed doors. Life is not perfect. Life in general is not perfect. Everybody has like something that they're dealing with behind this camera. Everybody got their struggles. Don't try to like portray like life is perfect. No, live your life the best way that you feel like you can live it, in as much as like you're not hurting anybody. Don't try to live your life to like please people. Why? Just like people have a problem, like let's say for example, people want to show like the real side of them. Like for example, somebody does a video and their background looks like kind of like crazy, or people do a video and they show like, okay, from like grass to grace, should I put it that way, or where I used to live before and where I'm living now. Sometimes, or they just show like their life like in the hood, let me put it that way. People will have a problem with that and will come here and drop some crazy comment and be saying some crazy stuff like, hey, look at where you live, oh, your house is this, your house is that, your house is that. Okay, now I'm just using this to like illustrate something, like to show people like you don't have to, your life don't have to be perfect, you know what I mean. Now at the same time, I'm talking about like the pressure on social media, you know what I mean. Now people want to try to like live a certain lifestyle, like, oh, okay, let's say for example like Instagram, okay, people want to go take pictures at this, like, you know what I mean, places, instead of like maybe for example being in your house. I'm like, okay, if your house look like it is what it is, you know what I mean, because you're afraid like people gonna judge, like, oh my god, like you're standing taking pictures, look at your house, la 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 la, look at where you live, you know. So they want to show like a different kind of image, then they show that different image, okay, that's what people see, that's what people like. Then something goes wrong, you get to find out like they're living a fake life. You want to have a problem with it. People want to complain like, oh, she's living a fake life, blah, 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 blah. But hey, that's the pressure, you know, that's the pressure that comes with social media sometimes, that people get all wrapped up in this thing. Do you, you know, if your house is like a little mud house, that's you at that moment, you know what I mean, that's you, that's what represents you at that moment. Hey, shoot your video in your mud house. You don't have to go borrow somebody's glass house in order for you to like shoot a video, or in order for you to like take a picture. Take a picture in your mud house, that's you, okay. As you go, you're gonna show it like your transition, you know what I mean, from your mud house until you move to like what you call your glass house, you know what I mean. That's your progress. Don't try to live a life to like please people. I'm gonna be like all over the place on this video because I really want to talk about like just social media in general, you know, and the whole saga crazy issue that is going on right now. Back to like pain. You can't tell people how to feel, you can't tell people how to eat. You can't grown human being how to live their life, how to dress, what to eat, and all that stuff, you know what I mean. Like people have their lives that they have to live. Forget about social media, forget about social media, forget about social media. Be you, you know. That's one part of one part of life that people cannot take away from you. People can take away everything from you, but people cannot take away you. That's who you are. You are. You are. That's what you are. You know what I mean? Just be you. Represent you. Be you. That's who you are. You are your own human being. You are your own person. The mistakes that you made, you are the one that's going to bear the consequences for the mistakes. But in general, like, I'm just saying, like, social media in general, it depends too. You know what I mean? Like, don't allow people like on social media to like pressurize you. Like I said, everybody got their own issues that they're dealing with. You cannot tell people how to feel. You cannot tell people how to live their lives. Pain is something that when it's felt, okay, I'm the only one that can show how I feel. You know, when love is going okay, yeah, it's sweet, it's good, but when it hits the other rock, you know, people sometimes like lose their sanity, lose their mind, you know, and they may come up like the wrong way. You know, let's go back to like, let's talk about like divorce. Like I said, I'm gonna be like everywhere. If you've been watching social media, okay, you know like what I'm talking about right now. Let's talk about divorce, like the crazy stuff that is going around right now about Korra, okay? Divorce is something that, like, when two people are living together, okay, the two people, them the only ones that knows like what is really going on. You cannot feel a person's pain until you walk down that road, walk down that path. You see that path that they have traveled? Until you walk down that path, then you can understand. I'm not passing judgment. I'm not going to sit right here and try to pass judgment on any of them because I don't know anything about like their story. You know what I mean? People can only say like what they want to say, but you don't understand people's story. You don't know like what they have been through until you walk down that path. Some people are saying like, oh, because she's not expressing any feeling, like any concern, meaning she never loved him. I don't think that's the case. You know, most times, like, when I'm gonna use myself for an example, okay, when I had a divorce, the last thing that I was thinking about was like the whole situation. She got a little baby, so it's like at this point it's like, no, I got to keep my sanity, okay? I'm keeping my sanity, not even for me, but looking at like the two kids that she got a little baby, you know what I mean? And if you're a mom, okay, you breastfed your baby, then you cannot like understand like where I'm coming from right now. Like, if you breastfeeding as a mom and you going through your body going through like a lot of stress, you know what that can happen to like a child. I'm not a medical doctor, but I'm just saying, okay? Capiche? Get it right? So you have to do like whatever it takes, okay? Not for you, even though you need to take care of yourself at that point, but it's like you're thinking about like your child, okay? The stability of your child. You have to keep your sanity in order for that child to have like a healthy life. And sometimes people get, there are situations when it comes to marriage like where divorce is like the best option, okay? I'm not saying like, hey, divorce is a good thing, but there's some situations where divorce is like the best option for like for the sanity of the kids, you know what I mean? Like, yes, there is like this after, you know, but at that point, for example, instead of having like two people be in the house, fuss and curse and stuff like that with kids in the house, you know, or even fight. I'm not saying that's what is going on, I'm just quoting an example. But you realize like at that point, it's not helping the kids, okay? Especially if the kids are of age where they can a little like kind of reason and understand like what is going on, you know. It's not healthy for them. I'm just saying in general, okay, before I close this video, do not sit and try to tell another person how they should express grief, or when they're going through like pain, you cannot tell them how to express that pain. Allow people to express their pain, how they feel, you know, because behind this camera right here, behind this camera, you don't know what people are going through. you don't know what they're feeling. I might be right here and I do this video, okay, and immediately this camera shut off, I go back behind, I start crying, okay. You're not there to see me, are you? Are you there to see me? Are you there to see like the struggles that I go through, the pain that I go through? You're not here to see it, right? I'm just saying, I'm just keeping it real 100%. Try to be reasonable when you try to like judge people. That's what I'm saying. Don't tell me how to express pain. Let me go through healing. Healing is like a gradual process, you know what I mean? Allow people to go through that process. Don't try to like hasten it. Don't try to force it. Allow people to be. Capiche? 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 Get it?